Sports. We will be doing some different show tonight. We don't have a guest, so tomorrow we will have Sean. Tonight we're flying solo. Last night we had Merl Hodge. Sorry for not getting any of the chat questions, but we ran out of time. It was kind of hard pressed for time. But we are back tonight. If you're not watching now, you can watch it later as we move through the show. We'll get some people in and get rolling here as we do our Tuesday edition of the show here on Steel City Live. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff tonight, guys. We'll talk about a little bit of last night's stuff. We'll talk a little bit about the Pittsburgh Steelers signing 4 players. We'll talk maybe a little bit about what their contracts may look like. We'll talk about those types of things. Also, we'll talk a little bit about the offensive line and what the Pittsburgh Steelers should be looking for when they're looking at offensive linemen, those types of things as we move forward in the show. What's up, Sean? What's up, Justin? What's up, G? Let's get this show rolling. I do want to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers signing. Oh, Lord, guys. I had a ant. Ugh. How in the heck that happened? But anyway, here we are. But I want to talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers signing those players that they were picking up in free agency. Quarterback Kyle Allen, wide receiver Quez Watkins, Patterson, defensive tackle Lowry. He's in. Dean Lowry's in, signed now. He's on a 2-year deal, which looks like more of a 1-year deal, the way it's going to be constructed, the way that the Pittsburgh Steelers could get out of it in year 2 if things don't work out for them. But we talk about things all the time whenever you're looking at these types of guys in the trenches, their leverage and things of that nature. I feel like Dean Lowry does fit in this 3-4 scheme a good bit. I think he could play the 4-5 technique pretty decent. I think he could I think he could do the gap stuff too in the run game. I feel like he can do that. I feel like he'll be definite good addition. I think he'll be okay. I don't think the Steelers will want to get out from underneath him right away. I think that you'll see this maybe marriage go for 2 years. I think that could work. I think Dean definitely is going to provide a little bit of a spark in there. Let's see. What's up, Sugar? Joshua Shields, what's up? What's up, Big Stretch? Yeah, guys, last night we had that show with Merl. I got to admit to you, I was super, super nervous, but hey, it is what it is. We overcame some of those nerves as we got through. Tried to get some questions in. I wanted to get chat questions, but we didn't get to them. But hey, it happens. But Merl gave us a lot of good insight, and I have to tell you guys, they are the nicest people. Him, his significant other, they are super nice, man. They are so, so very nice, and I have to really applaud them for all the cool things that they were doing, just talking to me, being very nice to me, very cool, very cordial, super, super great people. So if you're ever looking for anything from them, definitely good people to deal with, man, for sure. And man, what a football brain he has on him. It's definitely something really, really cool. Definitely. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, it was definitely cool to hear from Merl. I thought so too, guys. Definitely. As always, guys, hit that like button as you enter in the show as we move through. What's up, George? As we get through the show, make sure you're hitting that like button here to get the show cranking out in the YouTube airwaves, as always. And put your comments, questions, concerns about the Pittsburgh Steelers moving forward here in the chat. We'll get to them. Again, guys, I had some things that I definitely wanted to talk about, like that Dean Lowry stuff that I was just mentioning. He can definitely play against that 2 gap. I feel like he's going to definitely be a good run stopper for the Steelers. I think he'll play really well there. And I think he fits in this 3-4 scheme. I really, really do at the defensive tackle position. Like I said, he can definitely move. And I feel like it's going to be good. The more I look at it, I just can't really... I don't see the downside. I really think that the Steelers are getting him on a good, cheap deal, and he's going to be able to be productive. And I think that that's just exactly what they were looking for, big time. What's up, Roberta? Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, Roberta. Definitely so. Thank you. Yeah, guys, make sure you hit that like button, though, as we move through. Last night's show, like I said, I was super nervous, but I will never forget, and I have a debt of gratitude to Merl. I'll never forget my first big interview with somebody that definitely is a good football head and knows what they're talking about. And uh, is definitely a great player evaluator, guys. If you listen to Merrill and listen to what he's saying, and if you've listened to him throughout the years, you've saw how he's been able to be a very good player evaluator. And if I were the Steelers or any team for that matter, I would lean on minds like that, guys that aren't looking at certain things. And I want to bring this up as we'll start really getting in depth with the show with this. We talked about this a couple days ago also. Sean and I have talked about it. I've talked about it a little bit with Merrill last night. But when you're looking at these players and you're looking at these guys going into this 2024 draft, we put too much stock into this combine stuff. Even Merrill was on board with that. There isn't a test or a combine drill that can tell me how you play football. And I have to emphasize that yet again. And I don't think that the NFL realizes that anymore. I feel like all pro sports are looking at these analytics, and I feel like we miss out on getting the option to watch some really good athletes that maybe we're not going to ever get to see because maybe they don't jump off the page at you analytic wise. And I think that is a problem in the NFL. You have to do what Merrill said, and that is turn on the game tape. What are they doing on Saturdays, guys? That is the biggest thing we have to really look at. And we said this a couple weeks ago. We've been saying it since the offseason really began. You can't trust just, hey, this guy ran out the gate, man, and busted a 4.2 or 4.3 40. He's great. He catches a lot of balls in shorts. You don't know all the variables that are even going on. Merrill mentioned last night they started out a drill with players on their back playing on the offensive line. What does that matter? It doesn't matter. The only drill, like we were talking about last night, that really does matter is like a 3-cone. Why? Because of the start and stop. We get to see how you're able to change pace, change speed really quickly. And I think that is a very important thing to see, definitely. What's up, Josh? What's up, G? Film. Yeah, game tape is everything, Josh. Absolutely, 1,000%. And I am definitely on board with that. You guys that have listened to the channel, you know that's what we've been talking about. Sean and I, that's what we talked about last night with Merrill. And it is a definite thing that you don't see, guys. You look at guys that you got to have good leverage, man. Just because you're a big, huge body in the trenches. We're going to take this for instance, guys. This is what the Pittsburgh Steelers are really, truly looking for right now. They're looking to shore up those trenches, right? On the offensive side of the football, especially. But if you're looking at these big guys, what are you looking for the most out of all of this? Of what they can really, truly do? Football isn't played standing straight up. You know what I mean? You're not doing that. You have to have good leverage. How is their base? How is their leverage? Do they stand straight up once the ball is snapped? Do they have good technique and leverage? That is the most important thing that we're looking at when you're looking at the offensive line type guys, especially defensive type guys. You want guys that are going to have good leverage, guys that aren't going to stand straight up and get pushed back 10,000 miles, those types of things that you should be looking for. And then you're looking at in the interview process, you're looking at that kind of stuff. There's all these variables that don't tell me anything when you watch the combine. And I have to stand on this hill and I have to start putting it out there because I feel like people that do this, that do podcasting, that do shows on TV about football and about the draft and about all these players, they're not looking at the right things. It's all about analytics. And it's all about just what's their combine numbers. What is this? What is that? And we're not focusing on the real issues, the real things. And that is how you play football when I turn on that tape from Saturdays. How is that going to translate into the NFL game? I need to see speed. Yes, that type of stuff. But I need to see what we were talking about last night, the 3-cone stuff. How you change direction. How when you change direction, how is your leverage? How are you keeping your body under control? How is your technique? Those are the biggest things. And we're just not seeing that anymore. You get dumb people like Mel Kiper and all these guys that look at just numbers, man. That's all they look at. They're looking at everybody in a draft of, how many other hundreds of people are in this draft? They're looking at those kids or those young men, and all they are looking at is numbers. And if you took a guy like we had on the show last night, a Merl Hodge, a guy that was selected in the 10th round, in today's draft, all due respect to Merrill, but he would have never made it to the NFL through the draft. He would have never been drafted. And the reason is why? They're not looking at the football intangibles. They're looking at numbers, and he wouldn't have wowed you in those numbers. That's the thing. You want guys that have some damn heart. You want some guys that have good technique, guys that are coming in working hard, man. Those are the things that we're looking for. And I just think that we're very skewed in how how the NFL scouting departments really approach things nowadays. And I think we're missing out on some quality ball players. And the teams that do maybe look outside of the box and maybe use analytics as a portion and not all of it, I think those are the teams that have success and have long-term success and have continued success over and over. That's the teams I'm looking at. Sean Preach, Skyler. Skyler Cannon, what's up, guys? What's up, man? We're glad to have you back, man. Thank you, Skyler. Good to see you, buddy. That's right. He'd be a undrafted free agent. He's a Hall of Fame guy. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no doubt. Lloyd Raffle, what's the square footage of your house, my dude? I don't know exactly. We're moving out of this house, actually. G Stacks, football players eat, sleep, breathe football. Absolutely. It's good, Justin. How's your day, man? I'm doing well. But glad to see you all again in the chat. Make sure you're hitting that like button, though, for us as we're talking football, as we're talking Pittsburgh Steelers, and we're moving through all of this. And again, guys, I'm sorry if I seem to be on a soapbox about this, but after last night's conversation with Merrill, after just really grinding my mind about it, I really, really think that the Pittsburgh Steelers, maybe the teams in the NFL, maybe aren't looking at the right things when we're looking at these ball players. So I challenge all of you, everybody out there in Mike Drop Sports world here that watches the show, that comes here continuously. I challenge you to look at some of these guys' highlight tapes. Look at, because you have access to it on YouTube. You can punch them in. The guys that they're talking about drafting, these guys that they bring in for the pre-draft process in these interviews. I challenge you to go out there and I want you to look at their highlights, look at their footage, look at how they change direction, look at their speed, look at their technique, look at how their pad level is. Look at those types of things. Those things are going to be good indicators for you, whether that's going to be a solid draft pick or not. Yes, there's all these guys out there that numbers and analytics are the end all be all. And good for them. That's cool. That's what they want to choose to pick their players off of. Go for it. Knock yourself out. But I think you need to dive way more in depth than they do right now. Jason, what would you do with the 20th overall selection? That's from G. G, I'm going to go. I got to get an offensive lineman. And the reason being, and we're going to talk about something else, why I think it's probably, there's a good chance that it's not. I would probably go guard or center if possible. Jackson Powers Johnson, I think, could be that guy. We'll see. I don't know about that, but we'll see how that goes. But the Pittsburgh Steelers need to just shore up those trenches, man. That is the number one goal, and there is a couple holes remaining. Just a couple. But you're looking at a guy like Jackson Powers Johnson now that could slide. He could fall outside of the top 10 for sure. He could fall outside of the top 20. Many are predicting him to fall now outside of the top 25 after all that news. So maybe if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, maybe you don't have to pull the trigger there. And you could go and get a guy like a Mims or a Latham. Two guys that I think have good leverage. That I think could be really quality guys inside of the trenches. I would prefer that. And I think you could still get a viable center option inside of the second round. I don't think you need to pull the trigger on that. I know it's a priority. I know it's a big concern for everybody. It's mine too. Me too, guys. It is a huge concern. But I think the Pittsburgh Steelers could wait, and I think they could even possibly trade back, depending on what kind of runs are at certain position groups. I think that they could have the potential to trade back and gain a little bit more draft capital in order to move up in the second round to ensure they get a guy like a Zach Frazier, who I think is a little bit better. I really do. I like Zach Frazier. And I know he missed a lot of time with that injury last year. I get that, and basically didn't get to play much. But, man, I really like him from what I've seen from his older tape. I definitely like him. And I think he could prove to be pretty good. But I think they could They're bringing a lot of cornerbacks in, guys, and I'm not saying they draft that in the first round, but they are definitely bringing in a lot of cornerbacks. That's a position that I could see them drafting for sure in this 2024 draft. What's up, Ron? I missed part of the Merrill show. I can only make 20 minutes, which was one of my favorite shows ever. Did you get any draft insight from with Merrill? Uh, Not draft insight. We didn't get to make it to that, but as we grow the channel, Merrill's willing to come back, so we'll maybe have some more time with him. But draft insight and what we were talking about is like where we were just talking about there, Ron, about how analytics plays maybe a little bit too much of a role, how they're not looking at some of these variables and some of these drills that even Merrill brought up last night. They're stupid. And then you looked at how he brought up CJ Stroud. I was a big guy against CJ Stroud. I didn't think he was going to be a good NFL quarterback, and I was dead wrong. He is a good processor of the football or of the defense. He's unable to understand and process things well. And you heard Merrill. That's the key for quarterbacks. That's the key for those guys. And that's what we're going to hope Justin Fields improves on as he sits probably behind Russell Wilson, a guy that he's probably not going to be able to overtake for the job. I know many are saying that, but I think the Pittsburgh Steelers really want to ensure that Justin Fields gets that quality time behind a quality veteran. I really do. Macklin Smith, we are ready. We already got Russ. Yeah, we do. O-line, and of course more O-line. That was from Scholar. I like O-line. Hey, what's up, Pauline? Build from the trenches out. That's how you build a football team. Matt Reinert, South Baldwin here. Awesome. Welcome, man. Up near Pittsburgh then. Pauline, hi, Scholar. Hey, Jason, you are famous. Hey, Jason, are you famous? Not being rude. No, I'm not famous. Sorry. No, I'm not. I have my mic drop crew. That's who I do this for. Is the mic drop people, the people that come here to this channel. That's what I do this for. But no, I'm not famous. But anyway, all right, as we're moving on, guys, let's talk a little bit more about the Steelers, about the NFL. I think they're out on that Tyler Boyd stuff. We could probably squash that. It's okay, Pauline. It's all right. Don't apologize. But as we move through the show again, guys, make sure you're crushing that like button. Please hit that like button for us. It is a super cool way to support your creators, and it's easy, it's free, and it helps. And it's something that we really enjoy when you do that. Is hit that like button. I love to sit here and watch the live feed and watch the numbers grow on the likes. So let's crush that like button as we move through our Tuesday edition here on Steel City Live. I'm your host, Jason, and this is only on Mic Drop Sports. And so if you haven't subscribed to us there, you need to go. Also, guys, I linked and pinned our Facebook profile. If you're a member of Mic Drop Sports here and you subscribe to the channel, go hit that Facebook profile and hit like and follow on there. That way we can build up our numbers to spread out our message to other like-minded football fans that want to join us to talk Steelers, talk NFL. Also, guys, let's talk a little bit about, as we move through here, the Pittsburgh Steelers officially getting their guys signed that they were picking up in free agency. Quarterback Kyle Allen, Quez Watkins, Patterson, Lowry. So you're looking at some deals here. Patterson is a little bit more, 2 years, $6 million, so 3 years over two per year over 2 years. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. But I wanted to talk about some of these other guys that they bring in. Guys, you need to look, if they don't list the financials out there in the internet world, like they don't say, hey, guys, this guy is signed for 1 year, 1.2. Don't worry about looking for it because you're probably not going to find it. They don't release it all the time. Look at how many years those guys have been in the league, because this question was posed to me in the email and I wanted to get it out there. Look at how many years they've been in the league, and then you look at what the NFL vet minimum is. The vet minimum is 0 to 1 years, is $915,000 per year. That's the vet minimum that you get. And then you break down each year. So say a guy like Kyle Allen, what's he got? Just say he has 6 years in the NFL. His veteran minimum would be $1.125 million. So that's what you would be looking at. I think he might even be closer to 7 years. So if you're in the 4 year to 7 years, you're looking at 1.2 at max. You know, that's how you can kind of figure out what they're paying for those people, you know? Sorry. I didn't get to see what you put. Oh, sorry. Sorry. All right. I was just moving through there, guys. All right. Again, guys, hit that like button, but we're moving through again here on Steel City Live, and we're talking about those vet minimums. So that's how you figure out if they're not listing it. I know sometimes they do that. So, you know, it is what it is. But you're looking at a guy like Lowry's deal, and the Steelers are being really smart. You're looking at Omar Khan, and he is really, really being smart with this. You can really, really see how he's done it or doing things, getting himself out if the contract doesn't work well, like this Steelers deal with Lowry. They're going to be able to crumple that thing up and not really hurt themselves in the second year. And that's how he's designing this. I know people get a little worried when he does these 1 year things or these short term contracts. You got to remember what these players are being brought in to do. They're being brought in to be depth pieces. Unless they're big time signings, yes, the Russell Wilson is a kind of a prove it type thing. Why? Because the Denver Broncos are paying 99.9% of his salary. So, you know, they're not going to, of course, go out and just sign him to a monster deal when they can have him on the cheap and the Denver Broncos foot the bill. They're not going to do that. But you look at Justin Fields, you look at this Najee Harris thing to where it appears that the Pittsburgh Steelers might not be as interested in signing that 5th-year tender, which isn't huge, guys. It's roughly what, about $6.8 million for 2025 or 2024. So we'll see. Or 2025, yeah. So they have to designate that pre-May too, is what I was saying to you. So are they going to pick this up for Najee? Is that worth it? You know, I don't know if they're as truly interested in signing that. I think they would be more interested in possibly bringing him in on a 1 or 2 year deal worth a little bit less money, maybe. Maybe front and load that deal. I don't know, but I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be willing to pay monster dollars. I just don't. I know Najee's well liked by guys like Mike Tomlin. He's liked probably by Omar and them, but they're businessmen, and they're not. And the running back position isn't of super high value. He's not a Saquon Barkley. He's not a home run hitter from anywhere on the field. So, yes, he has his purpose. He's a grinder, and he's going to work well in an Arthur Smith offense, at least the offensive style that Arthur Smith had ran in Tennessee. You need a guy like a Najee, a grinder, a baller like that. But are the Steelers willing to separate with big money? You know, that's the thing. Pittsburgh Reels. How do you feel about the Steelers trading away 2025 first round draft pick and 2024 second round draft pick for Justin Jefferson if they did? I think it wouldn't be enough, and he just signed a new deal, Pittsburgh Reels. He just signed an extension with Minnesota. So, I mean, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. We've seen people sign deals before and then be traded, but I doubt it. But that would be a lot. That'd be a lot of stuff, but I don't think it would be enough for them to ever part. I would like to see Harris stick around. That was from Sean Pauline. My dad worked in football, and he was a master. That's cool, man. Good deal. Skills 4. Why do people dislike Najee? He has 1,000 yards every year. Yeah, but divide 1,000 yards, Skills. Divide that by 17 games per season and see what you're getting, you know? 70 yards a game, is that like blowing the socks off? You know, is that like something to be super cool with? Yeah, I just don't think it's like huge numbers. I get what you're saying, and I'm not discounting it at all, Skills. I think he's been solid. I think he gets better as the year moves forward, which I really, really like. I like him better in the back half of the year than to do the front half, and that's when you want guys like him to really be grinders, is that back half of the year, especially come playoff time. But you look at Najee Harris and you look at his productivity, it isn't as crazy as maybe some may think. When you're adding that extra game, it's just, you know, it's not eye-popping numbers, you know, is what I'm trying to say. Oh, it's okay, Pittsburgh Girls. Don't worry, man. Ron, you got that right. He is not a Saquon fly, Eagles fly. Yeah, they got a good one in Philadelphia. He's definitely not They paid a boatload for him, so the production's going to have to be there. And when you sign guys to those types of massive deals, those types of deals that are longer term, you're really banking on that production, man. That's the gamble you take with those. That guaranteed money. That's why these players want that guaranteed money up front, regardless of injury, regardless of the lack of production. And I think that's why some teams work with a little bit less guaranteed money. They want to continue to have that player have that hunger. When you're guaranteed it no matter what, maybe you lose that fire in your belly a little bit. I'm just saying, maybe. Big Stretch says the Lowry pickup was nice. When Cam and anyone else needs a break, I think we can get good reps from him. Absolutely, Big Stretch. I think so too. The Brobarian. Hey, first time on your live show. Hello. What's up, man? Glad to see you join us. I appreciate it. Rini, he hasn't had the O-line that Bell had. Yeah, I'll give you that one. But still, they're not eye-popping numbers, and I get what you're saying. But the what-if game's hard to play, too, What if they had this, or what if Kenny Pickett had this, or what if Mitchell Trubisky had this? It's hard, and I get Naji's a better player, but it's just hard for me to process, that's all. And I'm not discounting what you're saying. He hasn't had the O-line Bell had. But running behind that O-line and that O-line blocking for a guy like Le'Veon Bell, that was a different animal, man. Le'Veon Bell had a different running style, and it was a lot more complex to block for a guy probably like him. Yeah, I'm sure. The Brobarian, I expect Naji to be more of an impact player with Arthur Smith's offense, though. I agree. I think so, too. I definitely do. But do the Pittsburgh Steelers let him walk if he tries to hold in and try to be, a little too aggressive with his contract? That's the really, really big thing. Let's see how Naji plays with a beefed-up line. Yeah, but is the line totally beefed up yet enough, too? That's another question we need to ask ourselves, guys. Jaylen Warren is better. Jaylen Warren's a home run hitter. Absolutely, he is. Is he a better grinder? We'll have to see as he would get more reps, It's all right, Pauline. We're talking football. Do you think Warren can hold up for a full season? I don't know, Skills. That's the thing, too. You don't know until you see it. That's one of those things. That's why it's hard to live in the hypotheticals. Sean saying not yet. Let's get Mims in a stud center. Yeah, that would be monster, dude. I agree. And I think it could definitely really improve this Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line, especially when you're running an Arthur Smith style offense, I think it could definitely be good. And we talked about with Merl last night, talking about the different ways of play action. The pass, the RPOs, the run game, the different styles of play action, those types of things. And Arthur Smith seems to be a master at mixing those and running those in a very complex and steady way. And I think Arthur Smith is definitely going to succeed with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I really think he'll be way better than Matt Canada was. The Brobarian, I'll tell you what, if we get J.C. Latham or Powers, that's beefed up the line. Yeah, but you see, Powers might be falling out of that top 25 even. What's up, C Steelers? Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see how this all goes. Again, guys, make sure you're hitting that like button for me here. I'm a Jason, and this is Steel City Live, so I appreciate you guys for coming through. Do you think the Warren could hold up this season? That's from Roger. I think he can. I think he definitely can. We'll see, though. That's the thing with these running backs, guys. They are in a position that takes the most abuse. It's the most violent position left, in the game. They're getting hit hard. Well, I'd say in the trenches is the most violent. But the skill position player-wise, that's the most violent position you're playing as a skill position player. And damn, they take a beating. And we'll see how you hold up. That's the definite part. Lewis says, Zach Frazier may be every bit as good as Powers. I seem to think so, Lewis. I seem to think that Zach Frazier would be a guy that would really be pretty good. I really think he does the leverage thing. I talk about that leverage thing all the time. And I've really tried to bring it up over time here during the channel. Leverage, leverage, leverage. Guys that have a good base, good foundation, and have great leverage. If you have that, I think you can really transition to the NFL and be effective at a high level. And you see some of these guys that just have massive size and they get beat by guys that are half their size. You look at how TJ Watt beats some of these big guys. Why? Look at how James Harrison used to beat players. Why? Leverage, guys. Great leverage. And it's really a key. That's why I challenge you guys to go and look at these players on the offensive line that they're looking to draft. That you hear rumors about them possibly wanting to draft. Look at their leverage. Look at how their foundation is whenever that ball is snapped. And I think it tells the tale. And I think it shows you a lot as a Steelers fan of what you're getting in a guy, you know? Sean says Naji hammers the linebackers and Warren takes it to the house. I can't wait to see them under an Arthur Smith offense. They'll definitely be a good combo. And guys, we'll get to see them for sure together probably in the 2024 season unless something crazy would happen. But you're probably going to get to see them both. That thunder and lightning type style again for Arthur Smith, you know, that type of play, and we'll see maybe how that really works. But the play action game, the actions are really going to be important in this Arthur Smith offense, guys. They're going to be very, very important. It is 7:00 p.m., Pauline, for me. Ron, we saw this coming, but the Steelers just said that Tyler Boyd drama is finally done. Yeah, I was thinking that too, man. I was really big on that. I thought it was going to happen, but it didn't. But the chances of signing him are pretty much gone. They're just not agreeing on the money, and I don't blame the Steelers either at all because he's asking for far too much for where he is in his career right now. Yep, look at Walter Payton. He used that leverage like no other. Yep, leverage is key in football, guys. Toby's back. I won't say it, Toby. Our resident Titan guy. Welcome, Toby. The Brobarian. I do got to say this when we got Naji. He was doing so well. Many thought he would burn out too soon, so they got warned, and now we see a balance. I think at the run game too. You bring up a good one there, Brobarian. Yeah, and that was a great plan for both. You got to have complementary football in that backfield, and I even think the addition of a guy like Patterson is gonna help them because you're going to have different changes of pace, man. And you're going to be able to protect your running backs a little bit from some of the abuse. And I'd really like a backfield by committee. But when you're looking at a backfield by committee, you got to watch how much money you regulate to that backfield by committee. You can only have so many dollars put into so many players. They're all going to take up a roster spot, and you got to have ways that they're all going to be able to contribute and be successful in terms of the value also for what you're paying them. So that's going to be a big thing. But I definitely like that rotation. It definitely is harder for defenses to adapt to a guy that's coming downhill and punishing you, and then a guy that can just torch you with speed and agility and get to the edge and really make you play a game of football and chasing him from behind. And that's quality. I like that. Big Stretch. Make sure you guys go hit the like button. Yes, absolutely. Read Big Stretch's thing there. Hit the 3 little buttons. You'll see the like button thing. Absolutely. Hit that like button for us here on Mic Drop Sports. Make sure you subscribe as we move through this live show and our next goal of 5,000 subscribers. We're almost to 3. We're getting there. But let's hit that 5,000 goal here before summer. I know we can do it, definitely, for sure. I know we can do that. But make sure we hit this like button. That is the key here for these shows. Let's hit the like button. I agree. The Brobarian, my apologies for the broken English. I'm trying to talk on my... It's okay, man. I get you. No problem at all. Guys, I just appreciate you guys coming in and adding to the conversation. You don't have to apologize to me. If I got to decipher something, I'll decipher it. I just appreciate you guys coming in, adding to the conversation. That is the goal of this channel here on Mic Drop Sports, and especially this show, Steel City Live, is to get you guys involved. That is the number one goal. I don't feel like Steeler Nation's voice is heard enough. Yes, shows will read some comments, but we really try to emphasize it here a little bit. And yes, I miss them sometimes, but we really want to hear from you, and I appreciate it so very much. So again, hit the like, Get in the comments. Let me know your questions, comments, concerns about the Pittsburgh Steelers, about the NFL, whatever's on your mind. I want to bring up something that I just saw here a couple hours ago that I thought was very, very interesting. Should be interesting for Steelers and Bears fans. I think he even played with the Dolphins, maybe. Was one Chase Claypool. Chase Claypool is being added now to a Canadian Football League team. Kind of crazy how quickly you fall from grace whenever things just start to unravel. And it just shows you exactly how quick a football life is and how quick your NFL dreams could be dashed. And Chase Claypool, I felt like at one time was on a high trajectory. But slipped off. And when he went to the Chicago Bears, that was about it for him. His play was not very good. You saw him in the run game there in Chicago look like a fool so many times, whiffing on blocks, which when you had a struggling football team like the Bears were at that time, that doesn't help things. You can't do that. And they had a good run game, but you looked at Chase Claypool, it's like, make your blocks, bro. They brought you in here to play, man. They gave away a high value draft pick for you, and you play like shit. Then the Steelers getting rid of him. Maybe he was becoming a distraction. Maybe they were seeing the poor play. Maybe we were all blinded by a couple of good plays that he had made. Maybe we all had high hopes for him. Maybe those hopes were too high. But you're seeing him now being added to a CFL team, and that's about a wrap on your boy Chase Claypool, I would say. Anybody in this chat know who we might get to replace Deontay Johnson? Sad he's gone. That's the thing you're looking for in this draft. That's going to be one of the biggest things because so far they haven't replaced Deontay Johnson in free agency at all. Even if you had added Tyler Boyd, you didn't replace Deontay Johnson's productivity. And guys, you're going to see some of these people that they brought in. They brought in Watkins. They brought in Van Jefferson. Those guys, don't look for a Calvin Austin III departure or anything like that. Look for a guy like a Van Jefferson. Those guys that are on these vet minimum deals to be gone first. Those guys are the most easily expendable guys, the easiest guys to cut. They have the lowest damage when you cut them. Calvin Austin III on that rookie deal, why cut him? He's going into what, year 3 or 4? So just leave him finish that out. See how this thing goes. And he has good speed, and he can blow the top off a defense. You have some other veterans you brought in again, and Van Jefferson had a good year in 2021. You had a guy in Watkins that has some issues, guys. I like him. I think he could potentially be good. Hold on, let me pick up my pen. I think he could potentially be good, but he has some issues. And we've heard from Nathaniel Sampson, one of our loyal listeners that's a Philly fan. He needs to learn how to fight for that football. And guys, he has some drops in some big moments in a Super Bowl. He's dropped the ball several times if you go back through and look at his highlights. That seems to be an issue, dropping the football. A lot of people said Deontay Johnson had a lot of drops. Yes, he had drops in big moments too. So you look at Deontay, his big issue was not playing smart, running backwards at times, things like that. It wasn't his route running or anything like that. But you look at the position, and some call it the diva position. So maybe that's what transpires in the locker room and gets them gone and gets the Steelers and other teams out from underneath them. We'll see. Let's see, Ron, did you hear that the Steelers were thinking of re-signing Mason Cole? I brought that up last week, Ron, that it could be a possibility, but we'll see, and it's not going to happen until after the draft. I could say that probably with certainty because they're waiting to see about the center from Miami, I'm sure, on his health and if his ACL is going to be able to heal in time for them to extend a contract offer to him, possibly. And also, they're going to see what they come up with in the draft. Bringing back Mason Cole would have to be at the vet minimum, especially after you released him this year. You know his deficiencies. You know the reason why you released him. His play was not good, and you're bringing that back into the locker room. And why would you want to pay dearly for that? So, and that's even if he would want to re-sign, Ron. So that's one of those up in the air things. Rini, first time listening to your show, brother. Great. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate that greatly. Thank you. The Brobarian. I hope there is a Brandon Ayuk type player in the draft. There are those types of good wide receivers, Brobarian. There are definitely those guys. This is a very wide receiver deep draft, guys. And they are going to get somebody. They're going to find somebody in this draft to replace the production of a Deontay Johnson by committee, possibly. We'll see how that goes. You added a guy even in Patterson who can play in the slot at the wide receiver, So we'll see. There are several options, which is really, really cool. Eric, how do you feel about Xavier Leggett? Good, man. Just one of those players, another good player. It's a very deep draft, absolutely. K. Nolan, we draft receivers well, so not overly concerned with Deontay leaving. Yeah, uh, we have. We've drafted receivers well over the years, absolutely. And you can't deny that. Hopefully they continue that trend. The Barbarian Xavier Leggett reminds me of more mentally strong Sammy Coates. Sammy Coates, man, whatever happened to him? They had high hopes, huh? They really did. Gage Evans, what are our three biggest draft needs in your mind? Who should we get to address them? The biggest needs in my eyes are I think you need to go out and find a super stud cornerback. I know some people might not want to hear that because we did get one in Dante Jackson from the Carolina Panthers in the Deontay Johnson trade. We did get that. But I think cornerback to pair a young budding superstar like you have in Joey Porter Jr., pair those two up, whoever that may be, that would be really, really cool. I think that would be something special to really be able to lock down the edges on your defense. And when you have guys that rush the passer like TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith, you have a ball hawk and Minka Fitzpatrick, and then you added a guy into the middle like a Patrick Queen, having a superstar stud corner opposite of JPJ would make that defense in the city of Pittsburgh absolutely lethal. And I'm going to say that now. And if they could do that, I think it would be really, really cool. Centers in need. Definitely, I think you address that with WVU center Zach Frazier in my eyes. I think you can get him at the right value of pick. I think you could get him in the early second round, and I think they could make that happen. And then I also think the wide receiver position is a must. I think you got to go out there and look for that next great Steelers wide receiver. And that's what I was talking about with the title of this show. One part of it was who is going to be that next great rookie for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You saw it in JPJ last year. Excellent, excellent rookie. A guy that really came through. Who is going to be that next guy? Who is that next guy on the list? Is it one of these young stud cornerbacks that are in this draft? Is it one of these young stud centers that there's only a few of? Is it one of these wide receivers, these big name guys? Who is it going to be? That is the big thing. And as we inch toward this draft, things are going to become more and more clear as we continue to move through. All right, guys, hit that like button as we move through the show here on Steel City Live. I'm Jason, your host, and this is only on Mic Drop Sports. Also, go back and watch our content. We had Merl Hodge on last night, so if you missed that one, check that out. Also, watch any of our other shows and make sure you hit like and all that good stuff on it. Ron Sampson, is JPJ off the list? Jackson Powers Johnson's probably not off the list, but it looks like he's fallen out of the top 25 from a lot of teams, but that don't necessarily mean that he won't be taken. Again, it's the media machine. What are they trying to do, guys, if you think about it when this draft is approaching? They're creating what? Stories. They're creating hype. They're creating that drama. They want the draft to be highly viewed, highly televised. They want the storylines in place before the draft happens. And then there are going to be moves by teams that create other storylines to create the theatrics of this all. So, guys, you got to take and decipher what these national media people are pushing down your throat. You got to break it down a little bit. Some of it has some merit, some of it don't. It's very hard to sift through, I know. Now more like Marcus Wheaton or possibly Martavis Bryant. I like Martavis Bryant, man. I wish he would have. And the NFL banging on him for the pot. Yeah, it was stupid for him to do that. The NFL a little over the top with it, I think, at times. But Martavis Bryant, definitely a guy that had super high potential that could have really, really been good. The Barbarian, I believe we are in the market for a right tackle, center, and wide receiver. I think, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Thomas Warrington, what is good with everyone? We're good, man. Welcome back, man. D, what's up, man? Robarian, what's up? Yo, what's up? Big time thing here, though, guys. When you say they were looking at right tackle, center, wide receiver, I think you're going to see the Steelers in the mid rounds too. Mid to maybe even earlier rounds, like third, fourth. You're going to see them look at that defensive tackle spot. I think they're going to look at the linebacker position, even with Patrick Queen there. I think they're going to look at safety. I think there's several positions that they're going to still really, really consider. And whoever the best athlete is, one of those positions wouldn't be bad if you got them. It wouldn't matter as long as you're getting that best athlete available. But I look at some of these positions and you say to yourself, what about getting guys along that offensive line that are swing type guys? I like that too in the mid to late rounds. Get guys that can play all over the place to add quality depth, young quality depth to that offensive line. I like that as an option. What about guys like a Zach Zinter and things like that? Players that can play all over. Then people were discounting too. You had Spencer Anderson last year that was really wowing some folks last year during OTAs, mini camps, training camp, things like that. That was really getting his legs stretched out, really showing what he can do. And I think he's going to have a promising career with the Pittsburgh Steelers if given the opportunity. And I think they have high hopes for Spencer Anderson, a guy that can move around a little bit on that offensive line. So let's not discount anything that he could do. He could fill one of these holes that we have. And maybe be pretty good at it. All right, let's get back to some of the comments. What's up, Dominic? What's up, football legend? How are you? Jordan, yeah, I'm saying it right. Sorry, forgive me if I mess it up. We will trade you Queen for Kenny Pickett back. Please take him back. No, thank you, bro. No, thank you. We're good with that lack of competition wanting Kenny Pickett. I don't want any competition, man. But I'm a competitor. I got fire in my belly. You didn't want any competition. You didn't want no smoke from a 35-year-old Russell Wilson. So I don't think you want no smoke from a young Jaylen Warren or Jalen Hurts rather. Donald Brown. Yes, defense is en route. Coach D. Brown. I need to talk to Omar Khan. I'm the best offensive coordinator in the West, in the U.S. Well, there you go. Go get yourself a job there, Donald. Football legend. I really think Jabril Peppers is going to have a good season. I've always liked Jabril, man. I've always thought he was a fiery player, man. I have. I've always liked Jabril Peppers. GK. Thurman Thomas was the best all-purpose back for some time way back in the day, similar to Le'Veon Bell in the prime. Thermal. That's what I called him when I was a kid. Thermal Thomas, man. Thurman Thomas was a monster. He really, really was, GK. Craig Werlow. I think if Boyd is still out there after the draft, his price would come down and would still get him. I tell you what, Craig, he's got to, if you want to make the most money that he can, he better sign quickly, in my opinion, because I think after the draft, once this really wide receiver rich draft goes on, it's going to be very hard for him to get paid big dollars anywhere. Big hurt. Crazy how folks forgot that Cory Trice was a beast before he was injured. I haven't forgot that. And if you've watched this show, Big Hurt, you would know that I haven't forgot that. I've said it many times. I think Cory Trice could be special. But having a significant injury is something that you have to pay attention to. And you have to see how he comes out of it. And I really hope that he can. Maybe he shines in year two after that injury as maybe a slot guy or something like that. Hopefully. I really had high hopes for him. And if you followed Cory Trice's career, he's been injured at every major level, the high school level, the college level, and now the pros. And he's been able to overcome it before. So let's see how he does it in the NFL, if he's able to overcome it, because he is a special young man. And I think with given the right opportunity and given some health, I think he could definitely shine and make some moves. I would not discount Cory Trice, but he's injured. So we have to take that into the conversation. Stephen Carpenter, no more kitten mittens. Meow, meow, meow. Kenny kitten mittens. Absolutely. Thank goodness. Quez Watkins may be a great returner for y'all with a new system. I think it's going to go with Calvin Austin, and I think it's going to go with Patterson. I think those will be the two return guys in the back. I think Calvin Austin or maybe even a Quez Watkins could be ideal in the punt return game. I really like Calvin there, but we'll see. Quez really needs to focus on making sure that he's a quality receiver and contributing to the special teams, like you just pointed out. That's how he's going to make this team because otherwise they don't keep him. I just think the room will become too full by the time training camp rolls around. And I think Van Jefferson is probably the guy I really predict to be the odd man out. But we'll see how this goes. I think they value speed, and we'll see how it all plays out. Donald Brown, thank you, cause I am, and I'm the best. Oh, come on, bro. I hear you. You better go get a hold of Omar. Jordan, my entire family is Steelers fans, but I'm the lone Dirty Bird fan. Well, there you go, man. Everybody got to have somebody in there a little different. It adds to the fire, the competition a little bit. Makes the games more fun. G-Stack says, I'm excited to see Benton this season. I'm with you. Keanu Benton definitely showed a lot last year in my eyes. He showed good leverage. He showed to be a guy that can handle the game at the NFL level, and I really think that his year two is going to be a nice leap. I think Keanu Benton is that next guy for the Pittsburgh Steelers in terms of being the foundational piece at that position. Reenie, I still think Minka needs help. Yes, KZ, another safety wouldn't hurt in mix. Absolutely not. Minka needs to be able to roam around and be that ball hawk. That's what Minka does best in my eyes, create plays. The Brobarian, dude, we are so close to getting Jabril Peppers. User, hey, wise words, bro. Thank you. Brobarian, Jabril, Usain. I was thinking the same, bro. Now, shout out, please. There you go. I don't know how to say your name, Usain, or Uzar. I think I'm saying it right. Ron Jordan, I am a Birds fan too. Mark Malone, what's up, man? Marcus Allen wasn't too shabby. Marcus Allen, man, lengthy, tall, could really run, dude. If you're talking, yeah, good running back, man. One of the all-time greats. That was so crazy how whenever they thought he was done, kind of you look at his career with the Raiders, and he goes over to the Chiefs and is just absolutely outstanding. Craig Werlow, hearing Dan Moore might be on the trade block. How would you feel if the Steelers do trade him, and what do you think we could get for him? I think that he is trade bait. I'm not sure of his exact value, but he did. He's a left tackle in the NFL that has had significant amounts of starting time. So I think his value could be quite good. We'll see. But he is being dangled. That was part of my title tonight also, and that is a significant rumor. We'll see that. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes, but I'm not 1000% sure what they would get. I would say maybe, as high, I would say at the very highest, maybe a late second round, early third would probably be where you're looking for a guy like maybe Dan Moore Jr. Maybe even later than that, but I would say a third would be a solid or a solid trade for him. Donald Brown. I'm also glad that TJ Watt needs some help on the other side. Will be dominant out there. Alex Highsmith's pretty good, man. And you have Nick Herbig, Donald. And I really think Nick Herbig is going to shine next season. I think the more he is involved, the more he will do. I mean, obviously. But he didn't get the amount of opportunity. He had more sacks than a defensive player in a year. And Myles Garrett in the final 7 games of the NFL season. So I like my man, Nick Herbig. This is going to be a year, Ron. Either we boom or we bust, and I retreat back to the college ball for a decade. Donald Brown, most definitely defense wins championships and always has. Yeah, defense wins championships, always will, guys. Absolutely. In my eyes, I'm a defensive-minded type person. I like the scoring. I like all that. But I lean on the defense for the wins, man. That's where the heart and soul of the football team comes from. That defense, the gritty nature of the defense. And you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers throughout history, they've loved gritty, tough defense, and it's proved to be quite effective for them over the years, being 6 championships sitting down on South Water Street. Excuse me. The Brobarian. What I was trying to say is that we had a chance to get preppers. Oh, you were talking to somebody else. Okay. I wish Pittsburgh took haste and trade. TYBD 35. What up, Mike Drop? What up, man? Football legend. The New England Patriots should try to trade Bailey Zappi for Justin Fields and see how that goes. I don't think Bailey Zappi would be enough to get Justin Fields from the Pittsburgh Steelers, who paid nothing but a handful of pocket lint for Justin Fields. So I don't think that would be a realistic trade. I heard Juju is coming back to Steeltown. I wouldn't put any stock into that. Juju, no, I just don't see it. I don't see that, TY. Sean with the emojis. Absolutely, guys. Look at those emojis. You get those with the membership. You get loyalty badges. You get during the season members only exclusive episode on Wednesdays. You get entered for the giveaways, which we're having one here in about a week or so. This week or this month, our giveaway is the James Harrison photo from Super Bowl 43, framed, pretty, nice. I will pay for the shipping and handling, all that fun stuff, and it'll be a cool piece of memorabilia for a Mic Drop Mafia member. So, guys, make sure you become a member for 99 cents a month here on Mic Drop Sports, and the perks will just keep getting better, and you'll be always in the giveaways. Everybody that's a Mic Drop Mafia member is always in the giveaways, and we will have one every month, and this month is our first one. All right, guys, make sure you're hitting subscribe. Make sure you're hitting like as we are going toward 5,000 subscribers here on Mic Drop Sports. This is a show, Steel City Live. This is our live show we do Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wednesdays, we do it at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our boy Sean. Sometimes Sean joins us earlier in the week and later in the week too, but we do it on 7:30 that day. But other than that, we are here every day. Every day of the week we are here. So make sure you come and talk football with us here on Mic Drop Sports and the show Steel City Live. Zeke to Steel. When should we get a Justin Fields jersey for the Steelers? It won't be a number one jersey, I can tell you that, Mike. I think they gave him number 5, or I think they are going to give him Dobbs' old number 5. Craig Werlow, think we should look into another tight end. Too many injuries to that position over the last few years. I don't think it would hurt, Craig. I really, really don't. And if the Pittsburgh Steelers were able to find a quality guy after watching some game tape, looking at guys playing on Saturdays and really dissect that position down and go out there and grab a guy later in the draft, maybe mid to late rounds, I wouldn't be opposed of it. They have some double picks in certain rounds, so it ain't going to kill them if they went out there and got that, you know? Josh Guerin, welcome to the Mic Drop Mafia, my friend. Thank you for joining. That's awesome. New member. Also, guys, I'm going to read off on tomorrow's show all the new members. Oh, no, we're going to do that on Fridays. That's when we're doing it. I forgot. Sorry. But there have been several, so Josh just adds to the list. Yes, welcome to the Mafia, baby. Absolutely. All right, guys, we are just going to keep rolling through the show. We're almost out of time. We usually go about an hour every night, but we'll see. We'll still talk a little bit if there's anything else you guys want to talk about. We'll keep moving. Football legend, I still have to call Robert Kraft to tell him I'm the new offensive coordinator and I'm taking Jared Mayo's job in South. So get Jared the hell out of here. Yeah, no doubt, dude. I'm waiting for the Steelers to call me up because I'm taking Terrell Austin's job as the next Pittsburgh Steelers defensive coordinator also. Mike Miller, okay, thank you. Go Steeler Nation, beat the Cleveland Browns. You're nuts. Yeah, all right, Mike. Craig Werlow, do you think they will be a major trade on draft night? I think there will be a major trade on draft night. I'm not sure if the Pittsburgh Steelers are involved. I think if you're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think there is a very high potential for the Pittsburgh Steelers to drop back 4 or 5 picks. I think it's an extremely high possibility in my eyes. And I think they can still get a quality player picking at 24, 25, somewhere around there. But I would not be shocked if I were you guys if the Pittsburgh Steelers were able to work a deal to trade back and still get a guy that they're looking for. Again, guys, it's going to talk about or going to look like for them, hey, what position groups are having runs on them? Where are our needs? How is this all unfolding? And that is really going to tell the tale. Sean and I will be live on draft night, the opening night, round 1, and we will be dissecting that. And I'll have that right up in front of me. The draft will be right up in front of me on the big projector screen, taking up the whole wall. So we'll be able to go through there. I'll see everything. Sean will have it up. We'll be watching it, and we'll dissect and kind of predict where we think this is going to all go as it unfolds. Also, guys, make sure you go. I have the our Facebook channel or Facebook page. That's a new Facebook page. We've never had one before for Mike Drop Sports. It is posted in the pinned comments. Make sure you hit that and go give us a like and follow there. That'll be super, super cool for us, and we really would enjoy you doing that as we inch toward 3,000 subscribers. So let's get 3,000 followers over there on Facebook also. All right, guys, make sure you're hitting that like button before you leave or enter. That way we can continue to climb through the YouTube algorithm and continue to spread our channel and continue to talk Steelers and football with everybody. And again, guys, I really, really, truly appreciate you all stopping through. Mike Miller, I'm going to Pittsburgh, PA on May 1st, 2025. Mike Miller, 40th birthday. Well, happy birthday early. May 1st, 40th B-Day. That's a big one. No, I do not know Anthony D'Amato. I do not, Arvin. I do not. Baseball Bros. Can you shout out Baseball Bros trying to hit 50 subs? All right, guys, if you're going to go over and hit Baseball Bros up and give them a sub as they're trying to hit 50 subscribers. I always like to help out guys that have new channels. So, Baseball Bros, good luck on your endeavor. And remember, YouTube is a long, long game. Don't give up, because it takes a very long time to even get to where we're at here. So it's taken me over a year to get to almost 3,000 subscribers. So make sure you continue to push. TYBD35, Dak Prescott is said to be testing free agency in 2025. I wonder if he would consider Pittsburgh. I hope he doesn't consider Pittsburgh. I think Dak Prescott is damaged goods. I don't think that he is a quality processor of the game. I just don't. I don't like the way Dak Prescott plays the quarterback position. I just don't think it's a winning formula inside of a playoff environment, and I think that's been proven. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong about Dak, but I just wouldn't. The amount of money it takes to get a guy like him is astronomical, and the money and the reward don't match up for me. Thank you, Baseball Bros. Appreciate it. All right, let's keep going. Reenie, cheers from Mission Hills, California. Well, cheers. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks, Sean. Yeah, guys, I don't do the shout out thing unless you're like the guy that was building the channel. I'll shout out a channel that's growing because I never got help whenever I was doing my channel. Starting my channel out, nobody would give me any help except for a couple guys that were gracious enough to email me back and talk to me. Guys like Chris Carter, Locked On Steelers. Noah Strackbine, actually, he answered me back when I had emailed him before. So guys like that that were nice enough. Then you look at Merl Hodge last night, nice enough to do that for me. So I do like to shout out people that way, but I'm not just shouting you out to shout you out. That just gets, the thing is, it just gets to be too much. That's all when you do that. Sometimes when the chat's busy, it's too hard to do that. That's the only reason why. Chicago Kingpin, what's up? I hope Dan stay back at least from the Steelers. We'll see how it goes, man. Dan Moore Jr. could be trade bait, definitely. He's 25 years old, guys. 315-pound guy, you know, big dude, man. Big dude. But is he that guy? I just don't know. 6'5". Has he played well enough to not be dangled as trade bait? That's the question. That's what I want to know. Who do you think their quarterback will be next year? Russell Wilson, Baseball Bros. Chicago Kingpin, I meant Dak. Dak, I hope they keep him in Dallas. I hope they don't keep him for the Steelers. Yeah. Not for the Steelers. Football legend. Yeah, boy, you're right. Thank you. But yeah, guys, I'm not a Dak Prescott fan. If you're looking at quarterbacks, right now, my favorite quarterbacks in the NFL are Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. I like Josh Allen. I think he's a tough guy. I really like him. Who else do I like? I really love the way Jordan Love played last year. I thought it was phenomenal. And one guy I really, really, truly love right now, and I never thought that I would say this, is a guy like Baker Mayfield. I think he has a tough winner's attitude, and I like that. Robert Kraft be looking like a Harry Osborne looking ass. Chicago Kingpin, I hope you're right. Me too. Baseball Bros, do you think Justin Fields will start? No, I think he'll ride the pine behind Russell Wilson. And I think there will be some packages because he is a phenomenal athlete. So I do think they find ways to get him on the field, but he won't play 51% of the snaps because the Steelers aren't giving the Chicago Bears a fourth round pick. Omar Khan might have a heart attack if that happened. Mike Miller, we need to win this 7th Super Bowl rings. That could be so cool. Absolutely. Stairway to 7, baby. Football legend Robert Kraft be like, no way. Hey. Robert Kraft, man's a little weirdo. He reminds me of a little Oompa Loompa. Epic Expedition. I love Baker Mayfield also. The guy is a warrior. Absolutely, Sean. I got to agree. The more you see out of Baker, the more you hear him talk, the more you watch him grow up. Tampa Bay got a guy that's going to be a fighter, and that's what matters. I'm looking for a guy. Guys, when I'm looking in this draft, and we talked about it earlier, I'm looking at the game tape. I don't give a shit about the analytics. I could care less. Take your analytics and wipe your butt with the paper. I could care less about the analytics. As Merl talked about last night, the 3-cone drill. Yes, that is something we could take and look at because that says what? Your change of direction speed. I can get on board with that one. But I am looking at how your game tape shines. And I am looking at those interviews. When you come in, I want to know what kind of attitude you have. Are you a warrior? Are you a fighter? Are you that guy? That's what I want to know. And you can see through bullshit, guys. People, when you're talking to people, you can see through the bullshit. So we'll see. I just think the Pittsburgh Steelers need to get back to scouting the player, not the paper. That's my philosophy. That's going to be my new mantra for the rest of this off season until we get to the draft. Don't draft the paper. Draft the player, guys. That's the thing. Don't look at just analytics. It gets you in trouble big time. Donald Brown, all great quarterback picks in. We need a Super Bowl with a new quarterback, systematic, new play calling. Yeah, we'll see how it works out. Baseball Bros, thank you. Got to go. I liked and sub. Thank you for the shout out. These is my favorite live. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, Baseball Bros. Gus Bus, come on, bro. There you go. I said your name. Don't do that to me. Liam. Oh, thank you, Liam. Appreciate it. Football legend Robert Kraft be like talking to Mac Jones. No way. Say not on my team. Leave this shit out. Mac Jones is a bum, dude. He went to the Jags, so. All right. Mike Miller, we can wipe the Browns with the toilet paper. Hey, man, I had a roll of that once. Cleveland Browns toilet paper. It is a real thing. You can buy it. Go on the internet. You can buy just about anything. But I did have it once. It was pretty funny. I got it as a present, so it was definitely cool. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up, man. I'll read it next time, man. My voice is getting scratchy, guys. I'm getting I get bogged down after a while. So we're going to wrap this up, man. We went over an hour, so we're going to wrap this up. Make sure that you hit that like button for us again. Make sure you subscribe to us here on Mic Drop Sports. Look for our daily uploads every day that are out before 10 a.m. every morning, Monday through Friday, and in our live shows here on Steel City Live, only on Mic Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason. So until tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow with Sean on our live show. We'll be live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, put out an APB for my girl, Miss Pittsburgh. I didn't see her tonight. Peace, D. See you, man. See you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, go back, watch our shows, and thank you. Appreciate it. Until next time, peace.